thank you. First and foremost, we will extend to each and every one of you individually and all of you together collectively our deepest appreciation at the co-creation of this interaction and the allowance of this transmission from our reality to yours in this way. Each and every time you afford us the opportunity to interact with all of you, you expand our awareness of all the ways that creation has of expressing itself. And so we thank you for the gift of allowing us to experience that expansion of the multidimensional crystal of creation. We would like to begin this particular transmission in the following way. You have been discussing for quite some time in your age of awareness, your age of cosmic expansion, the idea of dealing with balancing out polarity. You have experienced the idea of great polarity in your reality experience, and you understand that by balancing it out, you can allow yourself the opportunity to mitigate the effects of the negative side and give yourself the freedom to choose what you prefer from the positive side. Unless, of course, you prefer the negative side, which many of you are saying you don't. But nevertheless, the idea is that balancing it all out will allow you to choose consciously and intentionally what you prefer. Now, the idea is that you have been thinking about this idea for a long time as polarity. But as many people are starting to realize, it really isn't the idea of polarity that is the nature of existence. The nature of existence is really a trinity. You have expressed this in a number of ways. The idea is that the balance point in the center is the third point. And the idea is that without that third point, without that trinity, without that balance point, then you are left dealing with the idea of polarity and all of the different kinds of experiences you have had within that particular domain. But if you are allowing yourself finally to recognize creation not just as a polarity, not just as a duality, but as a trinity, and you begin to allow yourself to awaken from that center point, which is where you really exist, in the here and now, in the present, in the center, then it is much easier to deal with the idea of the polarity of positive and negative on either side of that central third balance point, and you can allow yourself to lessen the effects that all of them have. You can neutralize all situations much more easily, and when they are all equally valid, when they are all equally neutral, then you can find that you have the ability to more effortlessly choose what you prefer without invalidating what you don't prefer. Remember that even negativity serves you in positive ways if you allow it to. Many people on your planet, because of the way they have been brought up, the way they have been taught to think, have a difficult time finding some of the positive ideas and applying them in their lives. Well, sometimes, because you're all very clever, you will go about it the opposite way. You will attract into your life something that is exactly the opposite of what you prefer, in order to have a comparison, so that by seeing what you don't prefer so strongly, it makes it that much clearer what you do prefer. And thus you can use negative reality in a positive way by allowing it to remind you that that's not what you prefer so strongly that it finally allows you to move in the direction that you do prefer. In some ways, we have referred to this in the past as the rubber band analogy. You know that if you have a rubber band and you pull it back and pull it back and pull it back, the farther you pull it back, then of course once you let it go, it will snap that much farther and that much faster onto the other side. Well, you've been dealing with the idea of negativity for so long, with darkness for so long, so deeply, so profoundly, and you have pulled that rubber band back into the darkness so far. The good news is that when you finally let that go, you will snap that much farther, that much faster into the light. And that's what acceleration is all about. That's why it happens. So in a sense, again, you can see there are ways in which the idea of having explored negativity, once you let it go, can actually propel you and accelerate you in the direction of the light, in the direction of your true self, and allow you to experience all the fruits and the benefits of that release. Does this make sense to you? All right. So the idea, as you have labeled it, is that this is a time of what you have called cosmic awakening. What does that mean? All right, well, we'll tell you, thank you. The idea from our perspective is that you are awakening into the understanding that you are the cosmos. You are all that is. The idea of ascension, the idea of acceleration, the idea of consciousness expansion is, in a sense, at least from one perspective, the realization that you actually are the dimension of reality you previously thought you existed in. I'll repeat that. It's an awakening into the awareness that what you have called physical reality is not something that exists outside of you, it exists within you. It's your construction, your illusion, your projection, your creation in order to have a certain experience that you call space-time reality, in order to experience the idea of change, of self-discovery. Because if you exist in a timeless state, there is no change in a timeless state. If you want to experience a new perspective of yourself, you have to create the idea of forgetting who you are in a linear space-time framework in order to have the experience of remembering who you are from a different perspective, of discovering yourself anew from a new perspective. Because you see, the framework of existence, the structure of existence never changes. It's the perspective of the structure that changes, and the perspectives are infinite. And that new perspective, that new discovery, that new self-awareness from a new point of view, that's what expands creation forever and ever and ever, is that it sees itself from a different point of view over and over and over and over and over and over again, infinitely, infinitely, infinitely. But you have a simple structure to work with, and it is those foundational elements, that simple structure, that we also wish to impart to you so that you can understand how to use the structure to your advantage, how to understand clearly, how to see clearly what that framework is, so as to know, to use it to guide you in the direction that you really prefer. Because it really is very fundamentally simple. It really isn't complicated at all. And once you understand how simple it is and render everything down to that simple understanding, then from that simple understanding, you can create an infinitely complex and rich experience without it necessarily being negatively complicated. So the idea is to again have that paradoxical balancing of the simplicity and the richly complex, but in a way that serves you, in a way that's aligned with the vibration of your true self, so that you can experience the path you chose in life in the smoothest possible way, in the joyful way, in the most positive, constructive, ecstatic, passionate way that you possibly can. Does that make sense? All right. And again, please remember, these are not just nice ideas. These are not just nice sayings. What we are actually discussing here is physics, vibrational energy physics. It's the law. There are only, from our discovery, from our point of view, there are only 5 laws in existence. Number 1, you exist. You can't do anything about that. You will never change that. You cannot become non-existent. Why? Because by definition, non-existence doesn't exist. So you cannot become non-existent if you exist. It's the only quality you have fundamentally. So you'll never change that. Law number 2, everything is here and now. Law number 3, the one is the all are the one. Number 4, what you put out is what you get back. Number 5, everything changes except the first 4 laws. And that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. That's the structure, that's the framework, and every single experience you have ever had, are having now, or will ever have in this reality or any dimension of any reality or any civilization whatsoever will be some combination of those 5 laws, and that's it. So the rest of it, as you say in your language, is your ball game. It's up to you to use those 5 laws in whatever way, shape, or form, to paint the picture in whatever way, shape, or form is most representative of the vibration of your unique perspective of all that is, because each and every one of you, each and every one of us, each and every being in existence is simply another way that all that is has of seeing and experiencing itself. So value your uniqueness, validate your individuality. Many people on your planet have for a long time been under the impression that the idea of unity comes from homogeneousness, from all being the same. Nothing could be further from the truth. It is the true validation of every single individual that creates harmony and synchronicity and allows you to truly function as a unit. Thus, then, you retain your individuality, you retain your unique perspective and energy, while at the same time, because you are true to the unique vibration you harmoniously and automatically fit with every other being also being true to themselves, in much the same way that you have a picture puzzle made of all these different pieces, and each piece is a unique shape. If each one of those shapes tried to be a shape it is not, it would not fit, and it would not allow the picture, the whole picture, to be formed. The only way the entire picture is formed is by each piece being exactly what it is, which means it fits perfectly with all the other pieces, and thus then creates the whole picture that can then support all the individual pieces that have made the picture up. That's how it works. So validate your uniqueness, and you will be yourself, and in being yourself, you will support the unique perspective that all that is created you to be. If all that is didn't think that your unique perspective was necessary in order for it to be complete, you wouldn't exist. Trust me, it doesn't make mistakes. So if you exist, all that is needs you to exist, because without you, all that is would not be all that is. It would be all that is except you. And that's not all that is. So self-validation, self-deservability, self-worth, and the expression in joy, in excitement of your unique self is the key. As we have said many times, and we will probably say again when we answer some of your questions, the only real formula that it comes down to is this. Every single moment that you can. Now, remember, this is actually a vibrational formula, not just a nice saying. Every single moment that you can, act to the best of your ability on whatever contains the highest amount of your excitement, joy, love, creativity, and passion, to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can till you can take it no further. And do that and keep doing that, no matter how it looks, no matter what form it comes in, with absolutely zero assumption, insistence, or expectation as to what the outcome of that action ought to be. That's it. That's the formula. And if you just do that every moment that you can, I guarantee that when you get in that flow, it will lead you where you need to be led. You'll wind up exactly where you need to be, when you need to be there, with whom you need to be. And it will allow an explosion of ecstatic synchronicity in your life and create the effortless and joyful experience that you all say you desire. And it really is that simple as acting on that formula and knowing that if you do, you are using the basic structure of existence, and thus then it will support you in that positive experience in exactly the same way it has always supported you in any negative experience you chose to buy into as well. You see, you are free to choose. In a paradoxical way, the proof that you are ultimately supported is that you're actually capable of believing that you're not supported. You are so unconditionally loved and so unconditionally supported, you are allowed to believe you are not loved and not supported. That's how supported you are. So anytime you experience the idea, I'm not supported, I'm not loved, stop and take a moment to remember that the only way you could actually have that illusionary experience is if you were actually supported in your belief that that's true, which automatically means you're supported, you're loved. So why not be supported in what you prefer to be instead of being supported in what you don't? Why not? That's the ultimate question. Now then, while you're letting all that sink in, we will once again extend to you our deep appreciation and ask, in return for the gift that you are giving us, how may we serve you now through your questions and dialogue? If you have a question, raise your hand. You will be called on. We will interact. Thank you.
Say good day to you this day of your time. After the transmissions we have delivered for the past 40 years of your time, we now begin a new chapter, having reached the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. This new chapter will entail a different approach to the delivery of information that we provide for you, all falling under the banner of Countdown to Contact, Year 1 for this, your year of 2024. We will say Happy New Year to you all, and thus we will begin another part of the journey together, if you wish. For this year, each subsequent transmission will be titled Countdown to Contact, Year 1, Interstellar Alliance Social Experiment. For the first month, next month, it will be Step 1. This Interstellar Alliance Social Experiment, Step 1, and the subsequent steps in the following months that will be delivered intermittently, will be all about providing you with exercises and actions that you can take that will align you more clearly with the vibrational frequency of the Interstellar Alliance as preparation for the idea of open contact. These steps, this social experiment, will involve your willingness to take certain actions that we will describe that will be challenging for some of you to apply into your society. This doesn't mean that you have to do what we will suggest, but if you are willing to take the steps that we will outline, it will bring you into closer vibrational connection with the idea of open contact and the idea of the frequency of the Interstellar Alliance. In this particular transmission, we are simply preparing you to take these steps by announcing them and letting you know that we will be providing this information in the next transmission and the subsequent upcoming transmissions thereafter. Each of these steps will be a challenging introduction, a challenging series of actions for you to take in your society that in many cases may be asking you to go beyond what are typical bounds in your society, to reveal yourselves as aligned with the idea of an interstellar alliance. Again, none of you have to do this, but your willingness to do so will make you more aligned with the Interstellar Alliance, and the probability will increase of open contact for you. We understand that this can be challenging in your society, for many of the suggestions will be contrary to what you are used to doing. None of them will be breaking your laws, but they will allow you to take a stand. They will allow you to be bolder in your outward expression of your alignment, and they will each get more and more challenging relative to the norms of your society. But this is important now in this new cycle, this countdown to contact, year 1, for you to step up the game, as you say, and in your language, walk the talk, as you say, that will allow you bit by bit, step by step, to interject into your society the idea, the notion, and the consciousness of the existence of the Interstellar Alliance, and how you, in your willingness to follow these suggestions, will allow yourselves to become essentially a citizen of the Interstellar Alliance over time, over all the steps that we will suggest. Again, you have free will. There is nothing that forces you to take any of the actions we will suggest, but we will again tell you that should you be willing to do so, it will align your frequency more and more with the experience of open contact, and even more specifically, with the vibration of the Interstellar Alliance, making it more and more probable on your planet for awareness to open up to our existence, the existence of other dimensions, by allowing yourselves to take the actions we will suggest that can, over time, begin to create a movement that will transform your society into one more capable of experiencing interaction with extraterrestrial, extra-dimensional, and spiritual beings of all kinds. So we will begin this cycle in this transmission with this announcement, which begins the preparation so that you have a month to prepare yourselves to decide whether or not you are going to be willing to take these actions as we deliver them intermittently from month to month. And again, the first transmission of these steps will be titled The Interstellar Alliance Social Experiment Step 1, all under the banner of Countdown to Contact Year 1 in your year of 2024. This will all accelerate in the subsequent years thereafter for 3 years, and thus leading up to the probability of a contact event that can change many things upon your planet. So this transmission is simply to announce and alert you to the upcoming changes, to the new cycle of delivery of information. Much of the information we have delivered in previous transmissions will now focus in on your understanding of the formula, how metaphysics actually functions, along with the suggested actions that will be coming in the subsequent upcoming months, and altogether your understanding deepening of metaphysical concepts and the actions you will take if you are willing to follow our suggestions will again increase the probability of contact for your world globally, depending on how far you are willing to go. And again, once again, I stress, you do not have to take these actions. It is up to you and your free will. For some of them may be too challenging for some of you, may take you too far outside your society, and therefore you may not be willing to necessarily partake of these actions and these suggestions initially. But I do guarantee that if you are willing to do so, the vibrational frequency of your alignment to the Interstellar Alliance and the probability of contact will increase geometrically. So it is up to you, as always, with your free will. As we begin this new cycle of information, as this new cycle of actions begins to unfold, we invite you to ponder deeply all we have said before, taking into account all that you have learned, all that you have been willing to apply in your lives with regard to the formula and your understanding of metaphysics and spirituality that we have shared with all of you, and to streamline it now in this new cycle to make it a daily understanding, a daily application, a daily usage in every situation and circumstance in your life to truly accelerate you into this new cycle, beginning now with this year of 2024. In return for the gift you are giving us in allowing us to share this with you and the subsequent actions that are to come, I ask, in what way may we continue to be of service to you? Please begin with your questions and dialogues if you wish.
All right, I'll say good day to you this day of your time.
Welcome to the first transmission of your new year of 2026, the year of disclosure. Now, of course, when we talk about the idea of this being your year of disclosure, we are talking about more information coming out about ETs, us, UFOs, our ships, UAPs, whatever you wish to call them. But not only are we talking about the idea of the release of more information regarding extraterrestrial life in connection to your world, we are also talking about disclosure of bringing to the surface anything that has been hidden, anything that has been kept secret that would have dire consequences were to be released.
Hello, Bashar and Company. I was wondering, there are people like me who believe in ETs but see them as, good, positive, and beneficial. Then there are those who also believe in ETs but see them as bad, negative, or destructive. I was wondering what makes one person believe and see them as good and others who believe and see them as bad. Is it more beneficial to have both views when it comes to having first or open contact due to the duality aspect of physical reality, or will there be a separation of some sort? Thanks and have a great day.
Well, first of all, we will answer this in what you might consider to be a more practical way. It's not that negatively oriented extraterrestrials don't exist. They do, but not as many as you may think or afraid that there are. So the idea is to understand what's going on. The vast majority, 99% of extraterrestrials interacting with your planet, because they can interact with your planet in the way that they do, are positively oriented. There may be those that may not necessarily be completely negatively oriented, but may, in a sense, not necessarily have your best interests at heart or be very concerned with the things that are important to humanity. That can be perceived as cold or negatively, but it's not that they're necessarily malicious. Then there is a very small fraction of extraterrestrials that do exist in the cosmos that may not necessarily have your best interests at heart at all, or even know about you, that may be negatively oriented. But that's an extremely small percentage of extraterrestrials, and there is nothing you need to worry about, because those that are engaged with your planet are 99% positive and keeping the small percentage of them that are not positive away from you anyway. So you don't even have to necessarily deal with them. The only exception that may exist to some degree is that you do have now and then some interaction with an extraterrestrial species you call the reptilians. Not all of them, in that sense, again, are negative. A lot of it has to do with humanity's own fear-based beliefs that come to the surface when exposed to a different frequency of a being from a different reality. You go into survival mode, fight or flight mode, and that can make it seem as if the extraterrestrial might be operating on a negative vibration, but it might be your own fear-based energies that you're feeling and actually have nothing at all to do with the extraterrestrial's intentions. So you have to be able to have the discernment to tell the difference between your own negative vibrations and fear-based beliefs and what is actually coming from an extraterrestrial. But the idea of the reptilians is that, yes, there are a few of them that don't necessarily enjoy interacting with humans and don't necessarily have your best interests at heart. But again, even within the reptilian extraterrestrial population, they are few and far between. They do have a little bit more of an aggressive energy to them. But again, because you react that way to them, that can magnify and amplify the negative side of their society, even though most of their population may not necessarily have a negative intention toward you. But because of their nature being a reptilian sort and you're being a mammalian sort, a mammal facing a reptile sometimes will go into fight or flight mode, because the first automatic assumption you make unconsciously is that the reptile wants to consume you as a mammal. So you're reacting on a very primitive level to their vibrational energy as well, which is partly one of the reasons why a lot of reptilians don't necessarily appreciate humanity, because they take a little bit of an offense toward the mammalian response you have to their presence by being afraid of them just because they're reptilian. So it's a mixed bag. There's a lot of different levels to this idea. It's not so cut and dried and black and white. But in general, practically speaking, the vast majority, 99% of the extraterrestrial species you're dealing with on Earth at this time are positive, and they are keeping those that may be negatively oriented away from you, except, again, for a very few exceptions of reptilian beings that may be working with certain people on your planet for certain technological reasons.
I had a soul portrait done of me not too long ago.
Soul portrait.
Yes. And while the artist was working on the portrait, she said she saw a diadem on my 5th and my 6th chakras and a receiving pod on my 7th.
All right.
Can you explain those to me and
Yes,
what that
easily.
means?
That's the way she interprets that kind of energy in her permission slip reality.
Well, she didn't see them on any other chakras.
So what?
Okay. So it's just the chakras that she was seeing? It's not like it was anything different? Because I'd never heard those words used in regard to placement on a chakra.
Every energy vortex has also associated with it a geometric crystalline pattern.
Okay.
She was simply sensitive to the idea of the geometric crystalline pattern versions of those energy centers.
Okay.
And therefore, that's the way they were perceived.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
All right.
Another question. I was told by the same woman that I am very connected to the Hathors, which I had never heard of before that moment. And then someone mentioned them earlier.
Yes.
And then I was...
Maybe you two can commiserate.
And also that I am an incarnated fairy.
Well,
what
in a
does that...
sense, not exactly.
Okay, can you
There
explain
are
what
many
they mean?
beings that do have cross connections to the idea of nature spirits, the nature spirit dimension and realm, which does contain an expression of consciousness that you would recognize as the kind of ideas you're calling fairies and such.
Okay.
So you have cross connections to it, but again, please remember, the idea is that all incarnations exist simultaneously.
Right.
So reincarnation can be had as an experience, but it doesn't mean that you actually become one thing and then another. The idea is that you're cross-connecting to another simultaneous coexistence in the idea of the nature-spirit level of consciousness, and you're forming associations to that because it has relevance in this life for you in terms of expressing that kind of energy on your journey, on your path.
Okay.
That's some of the colors on your palette, in other words.
Okay. And one last question. I was talking with my friend Concha earlier, and we were talking about waking up in the morning and feeling restless, like my heart is fluttering, and like there's something I'm supposed to be doing, something that I'm missing, something that I'm forgetting. What does that come from?
That could come from any number of things. Are you forgetting something?
Oh, you were actually asking me.
Yes, I was actually asking a question.
I don't know. I've kind of always had this feeling of like there's something missing.
Something missing.
But I don't know what it is, and I don't... Does that
All
make any
right.
sense?
You may be feeling the idea simply of the urge, the magnetic urge, the gravitational urge toward more of yourself. But if you relax into the trust that your life unfolds in perfect timing, that anxiety or antsiness may subside. You're not missing anything. Remember, all appointments, in a sense, have been made. The only way to miss an appointment is to spend time worrying that you're going to miss the appointment. Otherwise, the appointment can't be missed.
Okay.
So, if you feel like you're missing something, forgetting something, trust the way your life unfolds. Trust the synchronicity in your life as to how it's going to appear. It will always remind you of something you truly need to know. Always. And if you relax into that certainty, you will always get the reminder. But if you are concerned about it, if you focus on the concern, then you're going to block its ability to give you that information when you need it.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes. And I just remembered one other thing I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
And I don't know if... This is my first time seeing you, so I don't know if this is like your thing or not, but...
My thing.
I have been having a lot of problems with my shoulder, and someone did a healing thing on me, and she was saying that there is an energetic reason for the problem
There
that I'm
always
having.
is. And
But
there's also
she couldn't-
sometimes physiological ones, but that
Yeah.
doesn't negate the idea that it usually starts in some way, shape, or form energetically.
Okay. Do you have
Are
any...
you carrying too much on your shoulders? Are you shouldering too much in life?
It's very possible. I've
Well-
been one of those people that is always doing too many different things at one
Well,
time.
there you go, and there
So-
comes your anxiety as well.
Okay.
Your antsiness.
Okay.
You think you don't have enough time,
Yeah, exactly.
but you do. You have the perfect amount of time.
Okay.
Anything that you don't get done, when you are acting on your highest excitement, it is also the organizing principle of your life. And if you keep acting on the thing that excites you the most to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further, and then act on the next most exciting thing, and the next, and the next, and the next, in whatever order they present themselves to you synchronistically, whatever doesn't get done at the end of the day didn't need to be done.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
You really need to have more trust in the way your life unfolds. You
Yeah.
cannot go through life feeling like you're missing something, like you're not doing enough. Otherwise, anxiety and antsiness will be what you experience your life to be. Stop trying to shoulder so much. Stop putting so much weight on it, and you'll relax. Now, you can certainly take advantage of body workers to help you with this, but the energy must also change. Do you
Okay.
understand?
Yes, I do. Thank
So
you.
you don't need to shoulder so much. Whatever it is you truly get done will be sufficient unto the day. Yes?
Yes. Okay.
Remember, 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 you are an infinite, eternal being. What's your rush? You exist forever. If it's not done now, it will be done later.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
You can't really miss out, except by worrying that you'll miss out.
Okay.
That's the paradox, that's the irony. You follow?
I do. That makes me feel a lot better.
Why, thank you for choosing that path.
Thank you so much, Bashar.
You're welcome.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
And good day to everyone here. Thank you all for co-creating with us. Are we still pitching? Is that process still happening where people tell the story that began last year? Is that completed? Do you remember that?
Yes, nothing is ever necessarily completed. If you feel that there is a necessity in pitching, you may if you wish.
I don't feel that it's necessary. I was just
Why did you bring it up?
Because you mentioned how statements open doorways, and that reminded me of the pitching because
Yes.
it's a series of statements.
Yes.
So
It was for the purpose of opening those doorways.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll open some doorways.
Oh, all right.
Does that sound fun? Yeah. Okay.
Of course.
So I have had the opportunity of several of my dreams coming true at the same time, synchronistically, of working with a teacher, working in my community, and working with my friends to help generate actions of kindness.
All right.
And I kind of would like to hear your thoughts on the spiritual energy of actions of kindness.
Well, again, the idea is compassion. The idea is knowing that you are perfectly fine, that you are self-empowered, and that the greatest act of kindness is the reflection to others that they also can choose to be self-empowered, that they are aspects of the infinite, that they are unconditional love, that they are worthy and deserving of anything that they can imagine. This is the ultimate act of kindness, is to help reveal to them the potentiality and the possibility and the probability of who they truly are as a reflection of all that is. Because you are self-empowered enough to know that you will never be threatened by someone being their true self. Thus then, in that sense, you are free to help others by example also choose to be their true selves and know that all fits and all works together and all is harmonious when each and every individual is utterly and totally validated as that individual. Then there is true harmony.
Thank you. These actions have seemed to give a
lubricating.
Thank you, quality to group dynamics.
Yes, of course they will.
And so we've been experiencing how these actions of kindness in a growing group can create this dynamic of harmony.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing that. I was curious also about the spiritual energy of laughter.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. Your so-called Big Bang was actually a big joke. It was a big laugh. It was a big aha! It was a big realization, and the cosmic joke is that it was there all along, and yet until realized, it was inert.
So knock-knock jokes open doorways too?
Absolutely. Because when you're willing to ask who's there, you're open to receiving more information about yourself in the unknown.
Thank you.
So by all means, knock knock.
Who's there?
You.
You like the rainbow, all the colors, H-U-E? It's a synchronistic word with many meanings, I've noticed. You.
Yes.
I was also interested in the human beauty of the human experience of beauty. I've heard that it being very unique because we can have these other experiences of not beauty, that beauty stands out on this planet, and I was wondering if you could talk about that.
Well, it's really the idea of resonance in relationship. What you would call certain kinds of golden proportions that are representative of the overall resonant relationship of all that is to all its components. Does that make sense?
Yes. Is it unique, or do you experience...
I said all that is. In relationship, resonantly, proportionately to all its components. Thus, we are certainly one of the components of all that is. And thus, that relationship, in its very nature, is beauty.
Okay, that might take a while to sink in.
Oh, all right. Whatever amount of time it takes, I'm sure will be beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bashar, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Nania, we are closely approaching the time for your holotope experience. What remains for this in terms of questioners? All right. All right. You know how much we love threes. Number one.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I'm so excited to see you.
So are we to interact with all of you.
Yay. So I just want to say thank you so much for giving me all the permission slips that have brought me to this.
I made all sorts of suggestions. You were the one that gave yourself the permission slip, so we thank you.
Oh. Well, I don't really have too many specific questions, I guess, but I just maybe wanted to ask you your interpretation of an experience I had.
Such as?
Well, it was during a very deep meditation, and
Yes.
I was basically dissolving what I saw in front of me into like particles and,
Yes.
and basically taking away any color, shape, or form and just seeing it as particles. And then I felt like if I could remove things that no longer needed to be there, things that were like maybe too dense, and I just like took an eraser and then I opened my eyes and everything was like way bigger.
Yes.
And so it was more kind of spread apart, and it was as if there was like no shadows
Yes, we
in
understand.
the room.
You
So I
took
think it was
yourself-
like a
yes.
higher or lesser density.
Yes.
Is that?
Yes.
So if you're really super dense, is that like, that's kind of why you would want to live in a life that's not free-flowing just because it suits you better?
The idea of density is so that you can experience change. Remember, in timelessness, you don't experience change. The only way to experience discovery, newness, change, is to have the experience of density that includes space and time.
Okay.
So that's how all that is experiences the process of becoming all that is instead of just being all that is.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to maybe ask is, so is the next kind of aspect of understanding time and space would be to kind of take away time so that you would understand all things happening at the exact same moment,
Well,
right?
in your physical reality, you will not necessarily continue to have an experience of all things happening at once.
Right.
But you can certainly stretch that a bit and experience more things happening at once, yes.
Okay.
In a synchronistic way.
So the next level kind of up from that, is that it, like I kind of see it as maybe like stories that we would all be little aspects.
You are already
Of the
stories.
gods,
You are
or,
telling
yeah.
yourself stories. You are living stories. The idea now on your planet is to change the story you're telling yourself.
Okay.
Self-empowering stories are now the vogue.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Yes. Instead of stories of tragedy and lament.
Yes. Totally.
Oh, woe is me.
Oh gosh.
Now it's, oh, wow, it's me.
So I watched lots of your just transmissions, and I hadn't ever come across anything on the counterparts or the hybrid children. So
Well,
I'm
then you
wondering.
haven't come across
I
those
just-
transmissions yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But they exist, and you can find them if you will ask the people that know where they are.
Well, I will. But
Aw.
I wanted to ask you
Yes.
what you think about if I have any of those things. Or where, or how many, or whatever, because that sounds interesting. I just wanted to, yeah.
It may sound interesting, but at the moment, it's not relevant for us to give you that information.
Okay, fair enough. Also, I just want to ask you one personal kind of question. If I'm actually creating a documentary right now on the evolution of consciousness
Oh,
with
all
my
right.
boyfriend, and we were really hoping that maybe we could talk to you at some point and maybe interview you for it. So
We will see.
we'll see.
We will see.
Okay.
Synchronicity
Yes.
will make itself known.
Well, it's brought us to this point here.
Yes, it has.
So
And
we're
it
glad.
will take you further. But we will see.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Number 2.
Hello, Bashar.
And a good day to you.
I think I'll start with the question about, I guess my questions will be around how to get into a better contact with my true self and trusting it.
I already gave you the entire formula.
I'm sure you did.
Act on your highest excitement to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can so
Right.
you can take it no further, with absolutely no assumption, insistence, or expectation as to what the outcome ought to be. And if you understand that if you have the expectation as to what the outcome ought to be, you're actually limiting the chances of experiencing something even greater than you can imagine, one would think that would be reason enough not to do that.
Thank you.
Is that not reason enough?
Can you say that last part again about reason?
If you
enough?
understand that putting conditions on the outcome is actually limiting what outcome could happen, one would think that you would stop putting conditions on that outcome, knowing that it actually limits you
Right.
from what you could be experiencing. If you know that, wouldn't you stop doing that? Isn't that logical?
Yes.
Well, if you're not doing that, then you have to ask yourself, what is my motivational mechanism for doing things I say are not what I prefer to do? What belief system do I have attached that's making the thing I say I would prefer seem to be the thing I don't, and the thing I don't seem to be the thing I do? Because it's all about what you believe to be true that you go to and go away from. When you believe something's to your benefit, you always act in that direction. When you believe something is not to your benefit, you always move away from that. Always. Without fail. Without fail. So if you're not moving in the direction of what you know would be to your best benefit, that can only mean you have a belief system that is somehow making it appear to not be to your benefit. So find out what that belief is, let it go, and then it will appear to be to your benefit, the thing you prefer, and you'll move toward it. You'll act on it. You'll understand why you're doing that. Does that
Correct.
make sense?
Yes.
Is this
does.
helping?
I think so.
Anything else?
I guess what's coming up is, what purpose is it serving me to continually insert doubt into my decision points or choice points?
Well, what are you getting out of it? Again, it's the same question.
Right.
You don't do things you don't believe you're getting some benefit from. And watch your definition. You know what the definition of doubt is from our point of view, yes?
I don't know if I do yet.
Doubt is not a lack of trust. Doubt is a 100% trust in a definition you don't prefer. So why would you trust in something you don't prefer? That's what doubt is. I trust this more than that. There's no such thing as a lack of trust. You're always trusting something to be true. If that were not so, you wouldn't have an experiential reality. So the question is not, how can I learn to trust? The question is, what am I putting my trust in? Something I don't prefer or something I do? Both will work. Both will be reinforced by creation. Both will be supported. It's up to you to decide what you prefer and find out why you would be putting your trust in something that you don't prefer. The only reason you would be doing that is because you're defining that thing as something that serves you better than the alternative.
Right.
Find out how you're defining it that way. You'll see that it's nonsensical and illogical when you finally bring that definition to light. And when you see that it's nonsensical, you'll let it go. You'll say, this makes no sense. And once it makes no sense, you'll stop doing it. Yes?
Yes. Thank you.
Does that sound reasonable?
Yes.
Does it sound sensible?
Yes.
All right. Does that make it seem doable?
Yes.
Are you sureable?
Almost.
Not so sureable?
It's a lot easier to hear it sitting down in the chair than standing at the mic for some
Why
reason.
do you define that as true?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You don't have to answer me. You can go sit down again if you want.
I have one more question.
Yes. So you prefer to remain on the hook?
Yeah, I'll
All
change
right.
the topic though.
Oh, all right. She thinks she's changing the topic.
So I had an experience once where
Yes?
I had it, the question was posed, ask yourself about the mystery that you are.
Yes.
And I looked internally and to my left, and it seemed that there was this aperture that opened.
All right.
And all I could sense in this brief kind of moment was this very energized kind of kaleidoscope of colors
Yes.
that was spinning, and it was almost like it wanted to press out of this
Yes.
opening.
Yes. But it wasn't an opening.
I don't know what it was.
It was a mirror.
Okay.
You were looking at your true self. That's what you really are, all of you. Kaleidoscopic color, energy, consciousness, beautiful brilliance. That's what you are. Give in to it. It's what you really are. You were looking into a mirror. A similar thing will happen in the holotope meditation, because the holotope in some senses is like that kaleidoscopic image. You're looking at a mirror of your true self, your energy self, your consciousness self, your symbolic, reflective, true, vibrational, unconditionally beautiful, loving self. That's what that is. It's like, here, take a peek. This is really you. You looked into the truth of yourself. Yes.
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 3.
Good day to all of you, Bashar.
And good day to all of you.
Are we of the same oversoul?
No.
Is there anyone in this room of the same oversoul?
As you?
Yes.
Yes.
Is my wife that person, Gautami?
One of them.
Can you explain that?
There are more than one expression of the same oversoul that you are connected to in the room with him.
Is one of them my wife, Gautami?
I already said yes.
Okay. And there's someone else.
There are others. I have now given you an Easter egg hunt.
On September 27th in 2007, in Abidjan, Brazil,
Yes.
in front of John of God,
Yes.
I received a work that I call the Divine Diamond.
Oh, all right. How exciting.
You were just talking about it.
Yes.
And our work is about connection in the Trinity. We work with the Trinity.
That's actually what creation expresses itself as. You say polarity, you say duality, but it's actually a trinity.
Exactly, exactly.
Because the idea is that there's always a balance point between the two poles.
Yes. In my work with my wife,
Yes.
being of the same oversoul,
Yes.
it gives us a wonderful and amazing ability to create an energy field.
Yes.
And
You have resonant reinforcement.
yes.
Yes.
I work also with tachyon energy, which I have found extremely supportive in making connections, opening communication. Do you have anything you could say about tachyon energy, the way it's held in glass, the way we can use it as a focal or communication?
It can be focused in glass. It's a little bit more stable in crystal.
Yes, silica.
And it's exceedingly stable in diamonds.
Okay. And do you find that it is supportive to our ability to access our multidimensionality and working sort of in that way?
Of course it can function as a permission slip for that, since that is how your mind and frequencies are oriented.
Yes, and it is like communicational as far as programmable. You can communicate with it. It's intelligent.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Everything is intelligence. Everything is consciousness.
Yeah.
You're using the idea of the matrix in that sense to structure information in a way that is both implantable and retrievable by the particular resonance that you yourself express. So it is in that sense simply a permission slip that is designed to resonate in harmony with the way you choose to express yourself, the way you do things energetically.
Yes. In the work that we do, the focus is on the oversoul connection.
Yes.
What I see the higher self as is sort of the communicational portal or
Yes.
way the oversoul would communicate.
Well, yes, it
And-
has to come down through the individual soul to the higher mind, which
the
then
higher
goes
mind.
through the template level reality to the physical mind. But yes,
The higher mind and the higher self are one and the same in most cases.
Generally speaking,
yes. Yes, okay. And I have been moved deeply by your latest commentaries
all right.
of sending, if we send energy out through our oversoul expressions, like through a tree, through the branches of our tree.
yes,
It seems if we light up our tree, it gives us much greater ability, therefore, to focus our energy possibly on another oversoul expression or
Yes.
to do, yes.
because you have illuminated the branches, and thus it
Yes.
makes it easier to see how it's connected to other things.
Yes, okay. I would like to ask, I had a dream once that there were three beings that said, see his light, he's Arturian. My only memory of that is that's the first planet that I actually ascended on.
It's not a planet.
What was the
It's an
Arturian?
interdimensional energy gate, an interdimensional energy state that is representative of a particular vibration that many souls are taking on or connecting to on Earth at this time, because the vibration is conducive to not forgetting as much of who you are in physical reality.
So there's a connection, obviously, with Arturia
Yes.
and myself. Okay. My wife seems to think she's connected with Venusia.
Again, this is not in your physical reality. This is something that exists in a different dimension.
Yes. And
But it is kind of a similar idea, but it's connected to the vibration of compassion, the vibration of understanding, and the vibration of love.
Yes. I would also just like to know, I hear a lot about the Pleiades, and I'm always curious about the connection between the Pleiades
Distant
and Syrian
Cousins,
system.
distant cousins
And what are the Syrians?
Offshoot of the ancient Anunnaki.
Yes, and the Syrians, how are they related to the Pleiadians?
There has been some mixture, but initially speaking, it was not a direct lineage. But on higher dimensional levels, there is a great connection. And non-physical levels, there is a great connection.
So they're completely, in some ways, independently evolved.
Yes,
Yes, okay.
but there is a connection
There is
on the non-physical level.
Was Christ from Sirius?
Christ was from Earth.
Was his oversoul connection, or was Sirius involved in some way?
Yes, there were serious vibrations and many other vibrations in what you call the Christ consciousness, which now is represented by the collective vibration of your entire planet, as well as the Krishna spirit, the Buddha nature, any such idea.
Yes. I'm very lucky to be actually right now at a retreat with Amrita Nandamayi.
All right, well, luck had nothing to do with it.
Yes, well, she is the embodiment of compassion and love. What would you say about her as a human, obviously, incarnation? Amma.
We would say she is beautiful in many different ways. The essence of beauty, of what we were talking about before. The proportional relationship to all that is. The resonant relationship to all that is.
Yes.
Of all of its parts.
Yes.
In that sense.
There
will now need to be a shift in transmission.
Yes, thank you very much, Bashar.
We thank you.
Thank you.
At this timing, you may take a very short break. We will resume transmission for the holotope meditation.